Hello, hello, welcome. I had a little bit of trouble with getting my panel from top to bottom in the screen. So I feel like I'm blocking part with my shoulder, but I might move over a little bit like this. It'll be fine. I look really white. So many issues. So welcome to second live stream of this month. We started this the beginning, and I worked on it a little bit during the Zoom call. And I also worked on it during the week. I wanted to make a little bit more progress than just working on it during live streams and Zoom calls. I have fluff. And so part of that I recorded and part of that I did not. And right now I'm at this stage where I don't really know what to do with this panel. This panel and I are no longer friends. It's also, I got like panel block, which is from now on kind of like a word. So panel block is basically where you paint on a panel, or maybe in your case it's a canvas or something like real. And then you're starting to tell yourself that it needs to be finished and it needs to be a certain thing and it needs to be good enough. And it keeps coming up and up and up. And that's why I'm gonna mix some paint, by the way, while I ramble. And I resort back to paper, working with paper, to avoid that issue, the issue of being blocked by the fact that I'm working on a substrate that really is not that much cheaper, more expensive, than a quality piece of paper. But I don't know what it is. If you know what it is, tell me what it is. Linda, you are back. Linda, we missed you so much during last Zoom call. We were like, why is it so quiet in here? And we figured out it was because you weren't there. And it made us realize that we depend on you to keep like that, that conversation going. So we missed you dearly, but Rose said that you were with Gretchen. So I hope Gretchen's follow-ups were good. Yeah, let us know how the doggy is doing, please. Hello, Rose. Hi, Ariana. Kelly is out. Guys, I feel like we're family. Like we're family dinner and we're like, where's Kelly? Oh no, Kelly's out. It's fun. All right, so here's my issue. I don't know if I want. Here's issue number one. Let me dump all my issues on you and point them out with this aggressive skewer toothpick. It's not a toothpick, but first of all, I hate these areas because my intention was to glaze over them, so I need to kind of ignore them. But usually what I do when I do white oil paint, or very light oil paint, is I mix in some alkyd resin medium, which will make it dry faster and dry more stable. And I forgot, and it is not drying. Like, this is the thing with white oil paint. It'll take like 2-3 weeks to dry. So in my mild frustration and impatience, I kind of scratched it off a bit. I'm like, whatever. So that's that. It's still annoying me, and my only solution is to pick at it. Anyways, which I'm gonna stop. I worked on this for some time. I will not touch it today because it's one of those things where I need to be a certain level of focused, but I want to finish the ear, and then this, like, going from this to this area is annoying, and I don't really know what I want, but it needs some kind of bridge. I have some hands here that for some reason I painted black, and I wasn't sure if I wanted the hands to be dark and the surrounding area to be light, or vice versa, but I still don't know, so I'm probably gonna put some lighter paint on it. Yeah. And then the one thing that I wasn't sure about was if I want to make this area a little bit lighter and then darker down here. See? These are my issues. Gretchen is doing great following her surgery. Concerned with Cushing's. 6 months. Cool. Yeah, alright, cool. Yeah, I hope it works out. Like, animals. It's so stressful when they're sick, right? You're like, what is wrong with you? Alright, so what I'm probably gonna do today is sort of try out my complaints, my doubts, and then if I don't like it, I can hopefully change it back. I hope the glare is not too distracting. So I'm moving this summer from this room where I work now to my living room. Which is bigger. And kind of thinking like maybe try a different setup where I was thinking about putting like this box around my easel, or some kind of box that I can attach to the top of the easel or something like that. Because when I worked in graphic design, we had those like almost caps that you put on your screen so you don't have light hitting the screen and messing everything up and yada yada. And I kind of want that for my easel, so that the light, so there's light coming in from my left side, and then there's my artificial light coming from the other side. But I feel like the light from the window especially is causing this glare a little bit. It's also difficult sometimes when you work, is when I put a brush stroke down like this, it looks light because the light catches it, and when I put it down horizontally, it looks darker, and it just messes with your brain. Yeah, she will just have to accept all the loving. Like, I'm not officially allowed to pick up my cat, but sometimes I'm like, I pay for your food, I clean up your shit, I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna pick you up and put my face in you. Yeah, she's really annoying. She goes, I put her down, I put my face in her fur, and I put her down, and she looks at me, and she goes and licks herself, like cleans herself, while staring me in the face like, you're so disgusting, I need to clean myself all over again. But that's just how it is. That's just, I'm sorry. You live here rent-free. The box sounds like a good idea. We're just gonna give it a try. This is one of my favorites. It reminds me of happy thoughts. That's cool. I like that. Yeah, cats are weird. Cats are weird. They are ungrateful. Yes, they are. My other cat was like, carry me around. Like, this guy wanted to be carried around in like a little sling. He was so sticky. He just wanted to be held. So that was my first cat, and I kind of assumed that all cats were like that. And then I got her, and she was like, "What are you doing? Stop touching me." My cat rarely lets me touch her, only last year when she wasn't doing well. That's so cute. Like, I've heard people's stories that, you know, whenever their cat gets really cuddly, either you're sick or your cat's sick. So if this lady starts getting cuddly, I'm gonna be like calling the doctor. Carry a cat, yeah, that was like, that cat was a baby. Like a giant baby. Yeah. Your cats are cute. Your cats are like, they just jumped up on you, and they reminded me of my other cat, of my childhood cat. I like that they come hang out during the Zoom call. Your fluffy cats. Right, yeah. Yeah, they're also unique, you know. I'm making myself so difficult. I'm making it myself so difficult. Is that Dutchifying? I don't know. Anyways, so my gray palette thingy, I forgot to clean it. So I got the disposable. It's like, this is black and this is white, and I already suck at translating what is what. And now it's almost impossible to get the right value at once. Oh, yeah, horses. That is so cool. Nacho wanted to lie down on my screen. What is that? I think it's warm. I think the screens are just warm. They want to lay down on it. Cool. That is so cool. I love horses. Take care, and I hope to see you during the Zoom call next week again, Rosie. Oh, you had a pony. I feel like ponies, like the smaller they are, the more like no attitude they have. Maybe because they're small or something. Oh, it's in a spot. Cool. Yeah, I don't know if it has to do something with size or with like, because they say that girl cats are in general a little bit less cuddly than male cats. And I don't know, maybe it has something to do with them just being kind of like weaker, you know, in the animal world. Girl horses, oh really? Oh, okay, that's interesting. I can spend all day looking at, yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, I am now currently obsessed with Japanese videos where they go visit. Like, you have cat hotels there. I don't know why that is not a thing here in Europe. But you have these hotels or like inns or bed and breakfast type of thing where you can stay, and I have a bunch of cats and they make a thing out of it. And you know, you can have a cat in your room, or all the rooms have like little cat doors and stuff like that, and they're just like cats in your hotel. Can we have that here, please? Or the island. You know, they have several islands where they have these loads of cats, like all these colonies of cats. Is it colonies? Like groups of cats. I had a male German Shepherd for a few days. Trying to find his home. Oh yeah, he must be big. Yeah. I think in the end it's like this the same as with people. Like you can't really generalize the whole thing, of course. Can you imagine like some alien species right now that's investigating us? It's like, yes, in general, the females seem to be more cuddly. However, there are exceptions. Well, sometimes when I do hands in my paintings, and like sometimes I can draw hands without a reference, and then sometimes you're like, especially the relaxed poses, I'm like, how, what, why, and it looks weird. And so I take these quick like reference photos where I'm like with my phone like this, and then my hand like that to get it in that position. And so my camera roll is full of me being like trying to get my hand in the right position. And then sometimes my kid is looking for a photo of my cat. He's like, what? Why? Not asking. Don't ask, please. I always try to remember to sort of delete them. I'm working in this obscure corner of my panel. So I hope you can catch it, a little bit of it. I think YouTube recently, I saw it somewhere when I opened my studio, which is like the back end of YouTube where you do your videos and stuff. They were gonna do streaming. You could stream simultaneously in horizontal and a vertical format. But I'm not really sure if that's been rolled out yet. Because that would be nice for like stuff like this, if you could stream it vertically. I had 2 cats at one point and the male was so jealous. Oh. Oh, that's sad. Oh, well, at least you got some attention, like payback attention. Yeah, my childhood cat was pissed off at anyone who would dare come near me. Like, I had this one boyfriend at some point that he liked, but he was like nearly, it was impossible not to like this guy. But my other boyfriend, ooh, he grabbed him. He waited until he was in bed, and then he got under the bed, and then he put all his nails into his feet, like he got under the blanket. He never did shit like that. He got under the blanket and just snatched his bare feet with his claws. I was like, okay, I get the message. Like, only cat people take this kind of thing as, you know, a fact of life. It's like, my cat attacked you. I'm sorry. This is not going to work out. Yeah, he did know something. Like, you gotta trust your cat to make those decisions, right? That is so cool. Yeah, I think, you know, animals can definitely sense. I think it's maybe stuff that maybe we're able to sense it, but because of all the information that we process, that sense has been, you know, not so. It's not the only thing that we rely on anymore. I think that's maybe the right way to say it. Because it's funny, because all the people that my cat had a problem with turned out to be, well, not for me, you know? A little bit. And you kind of know. But, you know, a cat doesn't, or a dog, or a horse, and it doesn't have to concern itself with, you know, you have to be nice to people, or you have to be open-minded, or whatever. They run with that feeling, I suppose. Oh wow, that's intense. That was so cool. That is so cool. You know, my mom has that thing with dogs. My mom has never, yeah, she has had a dog in her childhood, and my dad used to have a dog. Um, but she's not like a dog owner or anything. But dogs on the street, they see my mom, even if it's across the street, they're like, hey, hey, hello. And they want to come up to my mom. It's like a dog magnet. Dylan's ink course is amazing. We're in module 2. Oh my god, I need to do it. Like, I haven't started. Maybe we can just do like next month's theme. Oh, pronunciation. We could just make it like Dylan's course. Just do Dylan's course. It's like course inception. A course in a course. Yes, it does sound enjoyable. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it does. Like, you want all the courses, and then you want all the art supplies, and then all your money is gone. That's a bit light. You know, let's face it, it's always cool. Like, it's really good value for money, right? Oh yeah, that's a long time ago. I don't know which one was my first. I did skip 1 year. I don't know, it was 2018 that I skipped. But I did do 2019, I think. Like, I'm having such a hard time with this area. Uh, 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 uh. So yeah, there's a chance I'm very much going to regret this, but we'll see. So the problem I have is that what is bothering me is that I want to face here, and this is looking like a misplaced hat. It's been bothering me literally since the day I put it in, so that's my issue with glazing and like this whole oil paint process where you need to sort of think ahead and then wait. And then my problem with waiting is that I keep staring at it. I'm like, oh no, can I do this? Can I? Like acrylic is just, I go to the bathroom, come back, and it's fixable, you know? Anyways. Oh, that one is cool, yeah. Yeah, I like that one too. Choices. I think I was Robert Kelly at some point. I was years ago. And he said something, or he talked about, I don't know what, about not being precious. And this guy, you know how he draws, right? He puts charcoal on, it's like, damn. And he was like, yeah, I don't like this area. And I was watching him, and I was like, I would literally give my left foot for that area, like to be able to. And he was like, no, I don't like it. And he wiped it off. He's like, don't be too precious. I'm like, just had a near heart attack, man. But it did, you know, once you let that sink in, it's like one of those gold nuggets, if you will, that you get from somebody like Robert Kelly. Is if you don't like something or you worked on it for a really long time, or somehow it's imprinted in your brain that it needs to be there, like this area here, I mean, it doesn't look any better, but now it has, for me, it has some kind of potential where it's not bothering me. Like, I know now if I glaze over this a week later, it's gonna be like, okay. But the reason I didn't scrape it off was because I kind of put it there and I felt like it needed to stay there. And I started changing, like I changed these areas here surrounding it for like a whole week, thinking if I could do that, then it would look better in comparison. And that's, I think, the thing that he was talking about being too precious, is that you worked on something and it's like a sunk cost fallacy, right? Where you put in time and energy and you're sort of hanging on to it like, yeah, it's gotta go. Anyways, that was a really great, like, the guy says a lot of really great stuff. Or for me, it took a little bit of time. You know, it takes time and it takes, I suppose, experience as well to be able to understand what he's talking about, because the guy has like a million years of experience. So it takes a little while, because at first I was like, yeah, sure, Robert, you know, if I could draw like you, I would not be too precious. But that wasn't really the point. Anyways, that was my love letter to Robert Kelly. He just wipes it. Yeah, he does. It's a little bit like frogging a piece of yes, that. You see that, you know, with people who are beginners with knitting and crochet, you know, it's not just a lot of time because you go really slow in the beginning, but it's like you feel like this is, you're never going to get there again. And now I'm like, yeah, I don't like this. I'm gonna rip this out. I'm gonna rip this back. But I remember when I was a kid and I would have like mistakes, especially in crochet, because knitwear you can fix, but crochet is like, there's only one way forward and there's only one way back. And so my stepmom would be like, you made a mistake here. And I'm like, no, I didn't. And I would have to rip it back. And it felt like a waste of life, like literally of life energy. Yeah, it's funny how it's totally the same thing. Yeah, the mistake will bother you forever. I remember also talking about it at some point with my friend who's an artist, but also has like a full-time job doing really cool stuff. But she said, you know, at some point, she said the great thing about having time to do art is having the time to make mistakes and scrap them and throw it away and start over without feeling like you wasted your only moment in the week where you could make art and you didn't, right? And I remember that when my son was little, you just don't have those blocks of time where you can do whatever. It's like, oh, I need to do it now because, you know, got a babysitter, or he's playing somewhere, or when he was younger he's sleeping, you know. And I remember feeling I have to make something now. So there's no time, or I felt there was no time to try out stuff. There was just time to, you know, try and make something. I have to start over. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, I think it's a really, like, important tipping point is the point where you sort of start realizing that time invested is never wasted. And it's not like people can tell you, and like I can tell you, or like Robert Kelly can tell you, but it needs to click somehow. And I feel like the only way to get there is just by doing it and doing it and doing it. Because part of that, you know, realizing that you can start over, that it's okay, it's also partially a confidence thing. Because I remember as a kid when I would draw stuff, and I knew it wasn't right, but I felt like if I started over, it might be worse. Okay, do. The kids were little. Yeah. Yeah, especially like the lack of infinite, or what feels like infinite time. That was like, also when he would sleep, and he wasn't really great with sleeping, but even when he would sleep, I would still hear him cry, like in my head. Yeah, it was a really difficult time to get like anything creative done. I did do a lot of knitting though, because he was like, please sit by my bed for hours on end. So I did do a lot of knitting. I have so many art pieces hanging up around. Do it because I can look at a piece. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It is like a journal on your walls. Like I don't journal as in, you know, like the sketchbook type of journaling. It's not my thing. I don't like it. But I do have stuff on my walls. And people are always, when they come in, they're like, did you make that? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, awesome. But I think people automatically think that you have other people's art maybe on your walls. So I'm not really sure if it was like, okay, yeah, cool, or kind of cool, weird. But yeah, I always have my own art on my wall. First of all, because I don't have like space to store it. So it's also just a practical thing. But also because I don't know, I'm like the mood of my artworks tend to resonate with my own mood, I suppose. So it's fine. But I would have these stacks of drawings or sketches that sometimes I would get those little sticker thingies that you can put on the back of posters and you can stick them to the wall and remove them afterwards. I would get those and I would just like make little compositions on the wall with sketches. It's really easy to swap out. It's fun. It's just yeah, it's nice. That's why I keep some bad, but yeah, cool. Yeah, it's nice to see, right? Yep. All right. Okay. Well, I will be struggling with this probably a little bit more for this week. It's not looking bad, but I'm also a little bit I don't know. We'll see. So, thank you, though, for joining me while I talk more than I paint. But I will do a Zoom session next week. So, not this Friday, but the Friday after, like one of the last days of the month, right? Next Friday. No. Next week, Friday. I will see you there, hopefully, in the Zoom room, and I will see you on social media. If I make any radical changes, I will confess in all honesty. All right, thank you for joining me again, and I hope you have a great day and a great night if you're in Europe, and I will see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye. Mwah.